That will involve the financial realm, economic realm, and more than that.
When the earthquakes come, the volcanoes go off, tsunamis hit, all these things, man can't stop.
Now, according to NASA, you only get one total lunar eclipse every year and a half over the last 5,000 years. But here we have 4 in a year and a half, and they're falling on the feast days, and that doesn't happen again for 500 years.
Every factor, everything pointing to judgment, pointing to shaking, is happening now.
Response from nearly every one of the governments represented here has been absolutely nothing. Utter silence. Deafening silence. Perhaps you can now understand why Israel is not joining you in celebrating this deal.
In precisely the area that the Russians are attacking now with airstrikes, aren't you creating the real danger of a superpower confrontation over the skies of northwest Syria?
I wish we had established that no-fly zone before the Russians came in. That might have dissuaded them from doing it. I still think we should step up to this. A no-fly zone, as I understand it, can be enforced not with manned aircraft necessarily, but with offshore missiles. And I think we should just tell the Russians we're going to do it, and then do it.
That exchange between Chris Wallace and former U.S. Ambassador to Syria, Brian Crocker, on the danger of a clash between 2 of the most powerful militaries on Earth. Right now, the point is being driven home as we learn that Turkey has intercepted a Russian warplane that crossed into its airspace near the border with Syria. Russia calling it a mistake that would not happen again. And in fact, one of Russia's news agencies saying it was just for a few seconds that they were in that airspace. But the incident highlights the dangers American and coalition pilots face as they operate in the same war zone as Russia. 2 different groups waging aerial combat and sharing the same crowded skies. Let's talk about the Northwest. That is an area around the area of Raqqa where ISIS is. But you can see most of the airstrikes are not there. I'm sorry, the Northeast. The question is, for the airstrikes specifically, Captain Nash, the Russians have been doing about twice as many airstrikes as we have over the last week that they've been active. And I'm just curious what that means to you. Is that aggressively more? Does that mean they're going to have a lot more impact than we are? How do you see those numbers?
The Russians are backing the ground forces. The ground forces are the Syrian army, Hezbollah, some militias that are supporting the government, and soon Iranian forces.